Hello, good morning. Today is February 19, Thursday, and these are my trades. So I had three losses and one super small win today. Um, I just didn't have a good read of the market, and it was definitely a lesson in emotional control versus execution. So I started with Nvidia. So my thesis, I really didn't have a good read of the market. My thesis was, it was probably going to be neutral, maybe bearish. So I was watching price action on the pre-market ranges. And with Nvidia, with it opening close to the previous day low, I guess my bias was a little bit more bearish. So with trade one, I feel like I followed my rules. I saw a break and then I saw a retest of the 5 minute low with my confirmation entry right here. Um, and but I was like stuck with my outcome. Okay, this was my confirmation entry. I was stuck with my outcome. I wanted to see. I thought I missed low of day already after it made this. I didn't see this was a liquidity sweep, and then my target was too low. But I was looking at the 5 minute, and it was kind of going down, but I was here. I was that liquidity sweep, so I was like a little mad about it. So I exited here. It barely even touched my stop loss. Really, I should have stayed because the next candle printed low of day, and that should have been my exit. Um, yeah, so that was a loss, but I think the real mistake was my trade two on Nvidia. At no levels, I had no structure. I just reacted emotionally on missing this small move, which is not even worth it. Um, and I entered a put on an up candle. Like, what the heck, right? No confirmation. And then, you know what I did? I said, like, oh, I'm gonna put my stop loss where my original stop loss was. I was just, um, I think I was just angry at this point. Um, Still aiming for this low of day. And look at it. That was the reversion. So what was it? Like if you do not know liquidity, you are liquidity. So yeah, that happened to me for Nvidia. So yeah, two losses on that one. I'm just, this was revenge trading, plain and simple, and I'm putting it here because it's something that I need to remember not to repeat. So there. Um, my SPY entry, I think, was a little bit more clear-minded. So I moved on to SPY with calls. And I think today trade three was my better execution. So I recognized this coming from Nvidia. I recognized this as a liquidity sweep below previous day low. And then, looking at this candles that were like higher highs, I said like, oh, maybe if it does a break above the 5 minute high, I could look for a retest. Look at this one. It did break that 5 minute high, and this is like a really big bearish candle, but then it did a recovery. And I was like, I wasn't in any of the trades yet, so I looked for this one. This was a reclaim at 9:52, so I entered there, and this was high of day at that time, and so I exited. I exited a couple of candles after, like just like a quick scalp. Of course, my target was to fill the gap. It didn't really fill the gap until now. So, um, so yeah, that was Should have stopped there for, I reclaimed some of my losses, but I re-entered here. I thought that this was another reclaim, and it probably was. Um, but it was just, it wasn't. It was a retest of that level. And so I re-entered here. This is where I re-entered, and I put my stop loss here. Um, Missed, because it didn't touch my target, because I was looking for continuation. I didn't exit. I didn't exit here, and I waited for my stop loss because I was waiting for hope. I was hoping for things to turn my way. So overall, I had three losses and one teeny tiny win. But I guess my takeaway for the day is that, when I stay patient here and I follow structure, I could, make something, maybe a quick scalp. But my worst loss comes from emotion and forcing a setup that wasn't there. So tomorrow, I am going to try to be more patient. And, market was consolidated. There's no continuation. I needed to see that. Um, Wanted to look at what I missed. Um, this was a miss. I think, I would have liked this, kind of like the break and retest of the 5 minute right here, but I was, involved with other trades, kind of like just a quick scalp to get to from 5 minute low to 5 minute high. That's just a small one. Um, no, yeah, Google, I wasn't sure. I thought it was going to be to maintain its downswing, but it kind of did a recovery and it's just consolidating right now. Um, AMD was a good one. Reclaim of the 5 minute. Like this was like, that liquidity sweep I was talking about, or reclaim of the 5 minute at 950 to go towards, this target of the previous day high. I mean, I didn't take it. Nvidia, I because I was the liquidity, I didn't recognize that, this was a good break and retest of the previous day low, up to the 5 minute high, up to the gap fill. That was probably the better move of the day. Palantir, this was, a pullback that five to a pullback of the pre-market low and went all the way to, I guess it's trying to get to pre-market high, but this move from the 5 minute to previous day low would have been great. And yeah, oh, this one would have been a big one as well. I don't know if there's enough volume there, but yeah, that's it. I know I'm just rambling, but yeah, that's my trade for today. Three losses, one win. I hope your day was good. I'm sure there were like a lot of great setups for everybody. Thank you.